Hey yo, what is up? 1.21 is coming, and together with it, you will see a new line of British wheeled medium tanks starting from Tier 5. And you know what that means? A brand new premium wheel tank in Tier 8. This is the GSOR 1010 FB edition. Now, in the last wargaming video, their dev was trying to convince us that this tank will be nothing like the French light tanks, with its mobility resembling more of a backchat. In fact, it will traverse its hull exactly like a track tank, which means it can pirouette on the spot. Now, this means it will benefit most players that are more accustomed to a regular tank traverse. Also mentioned was the size and silhouette of the wheel tank that is significantly larger than the French wheel tanks. But the real question on the players' minds are, will the British wheel tanks be as broken as the French light tanks? The damage taken from one broken wheel will be a minimum of 60% loss of mobility, versus in the French wheel tanks where the minimum loss of mobility is only 25%. Now, this is a way that they are trying to make sure that the British medium wheel tanks are not going to be broken. These mechanics will be applied to all their Tech 3 wheeled tanks as well. Now, this is the exciting part about the new medium tanks. Basically, what wargaming is trying to say is these tanks will drive more or less like regular tanks, what we are used to, the way we left, right, wiggle, forward, reverse, the way we traverse the hull. It will rotate the hull exactly like tracked tanks, so we don't have to worry about learning mechanics or switching your mindset from track tanks to wheel tanks like we do when we are playing the French light tanks, for example. Because of the way they move, we have to kind of rewire our minds to work those kinds of tanks, because they just move differently. And what we can see from the stats, that these stats have been floating around for about a month now. They seem to be final, and they seem to be very good indeed. The engine only 450 horsepower, but I made a note of the weight of the tank here. It's only 19 tons. This is less than half the weight of a regular tank, which is around 40-50 tons. So the power to weight ratio 23.68 will mean this tank will be very quick on its feet. 23.68 power to weight ratio is like a T44-100, really quick on its feet, agile, mobile. 60 kilometers an hour top speed with 30 in reverse. This is pretty quick. And you also don't have the mobility mode and the travel mode. You don't need to switch modes. You can just drive this like a regular tank. It will get you to 60 without having to press any kind of button to activate it or anything like that. The only big issue here is the armor. 60 in the front, 30 at the sides. This is basically no armor, but what do you get in return? You get 360 alpha. This is significantly higher alpha than regular medium tanks, which are, if you're a Soviet medium tank, you're like 250 average damage. If you're a prototype AP, or if you're a LIS CS52, it's a 320. So 360 is bordering on heavy tank alpha damage. And you also have comes with the territory is a slow reload. 12-second reload means this thing, you can possibly get it down to about 10 seconds, maybe 9.5, close to 10 seconds reload time will be the best time you can get out of this medium tank. But you can do 360 alpha, which kind of balances it out. Slower reload, but bigger alpha. 218 pen is kind of acceptable. It is pretty normal. I wouldn't say it's extremely high, but I wouldn't say it's low either. This means you could probably spam the standard AP shells, which is 920 meters per second shell velocity, and earn a lot more credits. But if you did face tier 9s and 10s, you can click the 2 key for the premium APCR shells at 1250 meters per second shell velocity with 252 millimeters of penetration. Dispersion on this gun is really good, 0.32. This means you do not need an improved aiming equipment. The moving dispersion we do not know yet because we don't know what the penalty numbers are. But if it is anything higher than, let's say, 0.13 or 0.12, you would probably need a vertical stabilizer. But imagine the possibilities if this had good moving dispersions. Let's say it's 0.10 moving dispersion and you do not need a vertical stabilizer. This would give you 3 slots to do almost anything you want. You're probably going to need 1 slot for a rammer. You could improve its vision with the optics or vents. There's just a lot of possibilities with this tank because of the accuracy of the gun. Depending on whether we need vertical stabilization, vertical vert stabs, or we can just get away with vents. Maybe we could use a turbo device to improve the speed and mobility. Maybe we can use experimental equipment, combination of the vertical stabilizers and the turbo that will improve both the mobility and the stabilization of the gun while it is in motion. So there's a lot of possibilities here, and I am truly excited for this line of tanks. It doesn't seem like it is too overpowered, but it is also not weak to a point where it is going to be terrible to play. It is going to work like track tanks, but you're not going to be able to track it. You can disable it by reducing the mobility 60% if you just track one wheel. Now that is significant. A disadvantage, 60% mobility difference means you could probably easily get 1 or 2 more shots on it before it can get back into cover. This will be a fairly balanced tank and very interesting looking as well. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.